everyone, I am Prachi Arora, an engineering student doing community service for community development project by teaching Python on YouTube. So today is the lecture 10 of the Python bootcamp and I hope you have understood the concepts up till now. In the last lecture I taught you about the list, what list is and how the indexing works for the list. Also how to access the list items, how to change the list items, and how the slicing of a list is done. I hope you all understood that. In today's lecture, we will study lists in more details. I will tell you about some of the list methods that will help you manage and manipulate the list more efficiently, and we will do some examples on that also. So let's get started for today's lecture. First of all, let's complete the homework from the last lecture. I gave you a homework to initialize a list, then change a few elements in it, then find the length of the list, and at last find the sum of the list, sum of the elements of the list. I hope you all were able to do this. So let me show you how it's done and check yourself. List 1 equals to the initialized list 100, 34, 23, 89, 67, 101, 108, and 59. Alright, now we have to change the elements first of all. The first task is to was to initialize a list, and this we have initialized a list. The simplest way to initialize a list. Okay, and then we have to change elements. We have to change 34 to 83. So let's do it. What we do, write the list name, list 1, then square brackets, index of the list, index of the element you want, that is 0, 1. 34 is at index 1, and then equals to assign the value of 83 to it. Done. And next element is 101, that is at index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at index 5. So again, list name, square braces, index number, assign the value of 1, 2, 3. Okay. Third is to find the length of list. We will go with length and then the len function, round braces, and inside it the name of the list. Okay, and here we print length of list is and length. Okay, let's print the edited list too. Print list 1. Sorry, you don't put the double quotes here. Okay, otherwise only the word list 1 will be printed, and another here to differentiate. All right, and then fourth task we have is find sum of elements of the list. Now for that we will initialize the variable first, sum equals to 0, and then we have to iterate through the list. There are two methods to do it, using the index and doing that directly. I will show you both of them. First of all, for I in range, I in list 1. Okay, this is doing this directly. Sum plus equals to I. Okay, and then we print sum and sum. And the second method to do this is taking sum 1 equals to 0, and then we have length already. For I in range of length, then sum plus equals to, now you have to take list 1 because I here is index. Okay, so we have to add the elements of the list. So list 1 square braces I, so it iterate over it. Okay, and then again print sum sum. Okay, this is how you do this question. The first part, initializing a list like this, very simple. Second is changing the elements of the list like that. Third is finding the length of the list. And fourth is finding the sum of elements of a list. Okay, so now let's run it and see. You can see here 34 has been replaced by 83 and 101 has been replaced by 123. Okay, and length of the list shows 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. The length of list is 8, correct? And sum, here you can see the sum is being differentiated. The sum should be same too. So let's see what we did wrong. Okay, so yeah, see, what we did wrong was we added these list items in sum only. We had to take sum 1 here, right? So this one will be printed, and here also sum 1. That was a small mistake and it gave you the wrong values, right? See, now the sums are equal. 652, 652 in both sides. Okay, so I hope you understand the basics of list. How what a list is? It is a data collection, and it is mutable. It is represented by square braces. It's a sequence, you can say. Okay, and also it has indexing. The elements are ordered. Indexing starts from 0 to the length minus 1, and we have negative indexing also from minus 1 to minus length of the list. And then I told you about accessing the list elements, also the slicing of lists. Okay, so let's move forward to the today's lecture, that is lecture 10. Oh, sorry. Okay, so in today's lecture, I will tell you about methods of list. And methods of a list, I will tell you, Python has uh, Python has a set of inbuilt methods that you can use on lists. Okay, so these methods are the inbuilt methods of Python that you just have to write, and the code will perform the given task without writing a different set of code. Okay, so the first one I already told you about, it was this list constructor. This is also a method of list to initialize a list. Let me show you a thing. I will show you. If I take str1 equals to hello world, okay, and then I take list1 equals to list constructor round braces and str1. and then I print list 1. What do you think will happen? These all characters will become a separate list element. I'll show you. Wait a minute. Yeah. See. See how every character got to become a different list element. HELLO, then space, even the space WORLD, right? So this was the list constructor. I will keep on writing this so you can see the list, okay? And secondly, we have len function. I told you about it already, right? And third, we have, let's go for append. Now suppose you already have a list. I have a list L1 equals to 1, 2, okay? And I want to add an element ABC in the list without removing any existing element. Okay, I want to add an element to the list without having to remove any element. It means I want to just add the element. I don't want to change the existing elements. Okay, so how do we do that? Because for that we can't do this. Like we have index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Up to 5 we have index. We can't do like L1 and then new index 6 equals to ABC. We will see when we run this, it will show us error, index error, in list assignment index out of range. Okay, because 6 index doesn't exist. So what we do for it is we take the list name L1 dot append and round braces, and in between we write that element we want to add in the list, like this. Now when I print this list, you will see that the element is added. See, all numbers and this ABC is added here. Okay, so what does append do? First of all, let's do initialize a list, length of list, and append adds an element at end of list. Append always adds the element at the end of list. If you want your ABC, like I want it to go in the center after 45, that is 0, 1, 2 at the index 3, you don't use append there. If you want to add it in the particular place, we use insert. What do we use? Insert. And what's the function of insert? Adds an element at the specified position. Okay, it adds the element at specified position. I will show you the example. For example, if I want to add the element here, add the element at index 3. So what will I do? L1 dot insert. Now we have to write the index at 3 and the object ABC. Okay, and then again print L1. So ABC will be inserted at index 3 and rest of the elements at the right of that index will shift to the right. Okay, the element that is already at third index will go at fourth at fifth, like that. Okay, so let's run it and see. Here you can see 0, 1, 2, and at index 3 we have ABC, and 34 that was at index 3 got to fourth. Okay, like this an element is added at the specified position. Okay, also now what happens if you want to add more than one element in the list? Hmm? Append and insert only add one single element to the list. But what happens if I want to add a list of uh, a list of elements in the list without using another list? Like we can do concatenation here, but I don't want to have to initialize another list. I want to make changes in that only. So for that we use extend. What does it do? Adds the we can do concatenation through it too. Adds more, or we can say the elements of a list to end of current list. Okay, let's see how it works. We'll take L1 dot extend. Okay, and then here we will be giving a list of the elements we want to add. I want to add ABC, PQR, and then let's add 52 and 90. Okay, now then I print L1 and see, you can see that all those elements are added at the end of the current list, that was L1, right? Now what happens if I don't give these square braces here and run the program. Of course, it gives us error. That is the type error. That is, list exchange takes exactly one argument. It takes only one argument. Whatever we put in these round braces is an argument. So extend takes only one argument, and we have given many. And when we put it in the list, it is a single list, and we are giving exactly one argument. So it's working fine. Also, there is another method to do this. Like if we have to initialize another list, I initialize it A B C Q R 87 90. Okay, now L1 dot extend and braces L2, and then we print L1. Now we will run this and see. You can see the elements of list 2 are being added in the at the end of list 1, right? So this is how extend works. Next up we have, let's see, let's go for copy count. If there is a list with multiple duplicate values elements, and we want to count the number of a specific elements, we use count. It returns the number of elements with specified value. Okay, let's see an example. We have 2 5 2. Here we want to find how many times 2 occurred in this list. Okay, so we will be using C equals to L1 dot count, and inside it the element, that is 2, and then print 2 occurs C times. Okay, so how many times 2 occurred in our list? Let's see, 1 2 and 3 4. 4 times, so the answer should be 4. 2 occurs 4 times. Okay, that was count. And then let's go for the next method, that is index method. What does index method do? It returns the index of first element with specified value. Okay, like there is a element whose index I want to find in the list, like where that element is in the list. If I want to like take an example, like the homework I gave you in the last lecture, you had to change the element 34 to 83. Now, what if you don't know the index of 83, index of 34? What if the list is too long to manually calculate the index of that particular number? What happens? Then you have to use the index method to find the index of that number. But always remember, if there are duplicate values in the list, it will only return the index of the first occurrence of that letter, of that element. Okay? Only the first occurrence of that element. So here if I want to find the index of element 5, it should give us 1. So I will directly print it, print li dot index, and then again round braces and element, that is 5. So let's run it and see, it should give us 1. See, it's giving us 1. Okay, and then instead of 5 we put 0, then it should be giving us this index, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It should give us 8, and it's giving us 8. Okay, this is the index function. And then let me show you remove. We have a function called remove. What do you think remove does? Remove function, of course, removes the first element with specified value. Now here if I want to remove the value, let's say 7, I want to remove 7. I will give li dot remove, and inside it the value 7, and then I will print it for you, and you will see that the 7 is removed. See, 2, 5, 2, 9, and 7 is gone. Okay, next up we have something called reverse. As just as the name suggests, it reverses the order of a list. Now I will take a list in which you have a specified order. It will go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and then I will print L1 dot reverse and round braces. That's it. Okay, and then I print it. We have printed it. So let's run and see. It's giving us none. Let's run it again. Just giving them. Alright, so I think I know what's happening here. We give another list and in it we store li dot reverse. And then we print array2 and let's run it and see. None. Just a minute, let me see what's wrong here. Okay, so what happens here is that this reverse function made changes in the original list. So we have li dot reverse and then we print l1 and you will see now the reverse of the list is being printed 87654321. Okay, so remember reverse makes the changes in the given in the existing current list only. Okay, next method that we have is pop. Let's do clear first, that will be easy to understand. We have clear, and what does clear do? It removes all the elements from the list, just as its name suggests. So if we put clear here, l1 dot clear, and then if we try to print l1, it will give us a empty list. See, it's showing us an empty list because it has cleared, that is removed all the elements from the list. Okay, and then next method that we have is pop. What does pop do is it removes the element at specified position. Now don't confuse it with the remove function. In remove function you have to give the element, and in pop function for method you have to give the index of the element. Okay, so let's try the pop method. Now if I want to remove 5, I will have to give the index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. li dot pop, l1 dot pop, and 4. And then I print the list again, l1. Now let's run it. You can see the 5 element has been removed. Okay, now what if you don't give an index to it? Will it give an error? No, it won't. It just removes the last element of the list in that case. By default, it removes the last element. If you don't give any index to it, it removes the last element. Okay, so that's it for. There are some more operators. Let's go for sort. Before moving to the next method, let me tell you another thing, another very interesting thing, okay? About pop, of course. So when pop removes the element of the specified at the specified position, it always returns that element. If you use the pop in script mode of ideally, it always returns the element. That means the element that's being popped get printed. But here we don't use script mode. So if I write here print and then run it, you will see 8 is being printed and then the list after removing 8 element. See, I will show you in ideally script mode too. Here I will take L equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and then I go for L dot pop at index 4 and it gives us 5 because at index 4 we have 5. And then when we print, we don't have an used to wait, go for L and it shows us that 5 has been removed. Again, L dot pop, only pop, it will give us 7. And when we give L, it gives us the list. Okay, so next method that we have is sort. Now what does sort do? It sorts the list. So give 2, 4, 3, 8, 3, 2, 5, 7, 1, 9. Okay, and then we go for L1 dot sort this. It will sort the elements of the list in ascending order by default. Okay, I will show you. After sort, we have run it, and you see 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Right? And what if I want it in descending order? What do we give here? Hmm? See, it's showing itself. Reverse, bool, false. Just have to write here. Reverse equals to false. And then run it. String order in the same one with false, and with true it will go for the reverse of the sort. Okay, reverse of sort is in descending order, so it will give us 8, 9, 8, 7, 5 and all that. Okay, so if you want it in descending order, then you give reverse equals to true, and ascending it is in default, by default only. Okay, you don't need to give for that. After that, another method that we have is sum. It returns the sum of elements in a list. It only works for, of course, float and integer values. Okay. Now I will give sum equals to L1 dot sum, and then print sum. Let's run it and see. Oh, the syntax here is wrong. Okay, we have to write here sum L1 here, and then it will work. You will see we are getting the sum 41. Okay. Uh, yeah, for sort, I forgot to tell you. Sort function works even for the if we give strings. Like here, give ABC and then LKJ, then PQR, then again ADF, and then ERT. Okay, and then I go for L1 dot sort and then print L1. It will get sorted according to the first letter of the string. Okay, A will come first, then this A will be coming, then E, then L and P Q R. I will show you. See, it's getting sorted. A B C A D F E R T L K J and PQR. All sorted lists according to the first letter of the string given. Okay, so I think that was all. Let me see if any other is left. Yeah, we can go for this del function. Here we have del operator. It's actually a keyword. Okay, so what is it does is it deletes the element of list or the whole list. Okay, so how do we use del keyword? We use del space list name and index. At index 2 is PQR. So let's see if it works. Print L1. Okay, see, PQR has been deleted. Now if I give only L1 and print L1, you can see here name error. Name L1 is not defined when we clearly have a list L1 here, because del keyword here deleted the whole list from existence, so it doesn't exist in the memory now. Okay, it doesn't exist in the memory. So when we ask to print it, it gives us an error. I guess these were all the operators. We have done 14 of 10 them. We have a few more, but I don't think those are necessary. All, any, and enumerate. Okay. So, one more thing, that in other languages you have a build thing called array. You have arrays. But in Python you don't have arrays, so we use lists instead of arrays in Python. Okay, so the if you see the arrays in the different other languages, don't get confused, it works like list only, but a little differences are there. Like in C++, array can only have the same data type of elements. It can't have float, integer and string in one array only. Okay, but in lists in Python you can have different types of data types in single list. So this was about the methods of list. Let's revise it again. First method, first of all, what are methods of list? Python has a set of inbuilt methods that you can use to manipulate a list. Okay, so first of these methods is list constructor that is used to initialize a list. Then is lem method that gives us the length of the list. Then we have append method that adds a single element at the end of the list. Okay, at the end of the list, a single element at the end of list. And then after insert we have extend. Then we have insert. Insert adds an element at the specified position. We have to give the index and then the element to be added, and it gives us the element, and it it inserts that element on the given index. After that we have extend that adds multiple values to the end of the list, and these values should be stored in the list only. Okay, next up we have count function that returns the number of elements with specified value. Like there are many duplicate values in your list and you want to find the number of a particular value, you use count function. Then index function, it returns the index of the first element with specified value. Returns the index of the first occurrence of that element. Okay, then we have remove, it removes the first element with specified value. Then reverse, it reverses the order of the list. Then we have clear function that removes all the elements from the list, leaving the list empty. It doesn't delete the list, it only removes the elements. Okay, the list exists in the memory, but it is empty. Then we have pop that removes the element at the specified position. You give the index to the pop and it removes that element of at that index. Okay, also it returns the popped item. Hmm. And by default, if you don't give any index to it, it removes the last element of the list. After that we have sort. What does sort do? Sort, of course, sorts the list by default in the ascending order, and if you want it in descending order, you have to give the attribute reverse equals to true inside the sort method. Okay, then we have sum that finds the sum of elements in a list. Okay, then we have del keyword that deletes the elements of a list or the whole list. If you give del and then give an element of the list, it deletes that particular element. And if you give the whole list, del list name, it deletes the whole list. Okay, so that was it all about the methods of list. I have covered all the important methods. Okay, so let me search for some example that you can perform on a list. I don't think I can use all these methods in a single question. So I think it will be okay if I don't give the homework today, or I will give you just simple homework. Okay, let me give you simple homework. So for you, homework for the day is number one, find sum of elements, but it was given in last. Okay, take a list and list of integers, change the even numbers to square of them. Okay, for example, if you have the list 2, 3, 6, 1, 7, 5, 4, 5, it should be changed into 2 is even 4, 3, 36, 1, 7, 16, and 5. The square of even numbers only. Okay, you will be using for loop and if conditions, so it's very easy to do it. Okay, so I hope you all understood the today's topic. If you did, please subscribe to my channel and like the video and keep practicing. Practice all of these methods, create a list, and then perform all these methods on the list to practice, because if you don't practice you won't be able to understand anything. You will forget it eventually. Okay, so I hope you understood everything. That's it for today. Keep coding. Thank you.